Okay, we're at the Racers for Care benefit in Brookfield, Ohio, charity that was developed a couple years ago by Chaplain Bill Beck and racer Mike Lutz. This year, it's got a new aspect to it. They're helping out a local racer by the name of Brian Steinman, otherwise known as the Cowboy. Brian, thanks for taking the time to talk to us.
Yeah, thanks for having us and having us on the show.
Brian is a sprint car driver and former rodeo rider. That's how he got the name Cowboy. You rode bucking broncos?
Yeah, I rode bareback broncs in the rodeo and was successful at that, but then I broke my arm twice, so Dad and I decided to try out a sprint car, and that's what brought us here.
Compare driving a sprint car and riding in the rodeo.
Well, a sprint car definitely isn't as physically demanding as far as the next morning when you wake up out of bed you can walk, per se, most mornings, but the sprint car is physically demanding in the aspect of usually you have just that few minutes to get out there and make it happen, and you got to go, and you're running off adrenaline pretty much the whole time, and by the time you're done there at the checkered flag, then you're definitely ready to take the helmet off and cool down because it's usually a good hot summer night.
I know you enjoyed driving the sprint car. Unfortunately, you had an incident at Lernerville this year. Tell us just a little bit about that.
I got injured on July 6th down in Lernerville and saw River down by Butler. I don't remember anything of the day, but I backed the car into a cement wall there, and the fuel tank ruptured and burnt my legs. I had to have my legs skin grafted, and I fractured my C5 vertebrae, and that's what brought me to the wheelchair, and I did my rehab down at UPMC Mercy, and now I'm just trying to get myself stronger and get back at things.
A lot of the people that I've talked to that were dealing with you right after the incident told me how positive your attitude was. How did you develop that positive attitude?
Well, you don't have a choice. I mean, we don't have time machines to go backwards, and you got to focus on getting yourself better, or you're going to just lay there forever and ever being miserable. So I just decided, you have to go forward, and for all of your loved ones, my wife, she works way too hard. Anything I can do to make her life better and take a little bit of stress off because I get healthier and stronger, that's what I want to do. So,
well, we have another gentleman here who's in a similar situation to you, drove a sprint car and also had an incident, and he went on to make some great things out of it. Brad Doty. Brad, thanks for taking the time to talk to us.
Well, thanks for having us. I guess, Brian, we're giving sprint cars maybe a bad image here with the both of us sitting in wheelchairs, but you and I were speaking earlier how ironic he goes from riding bucking horses, where the injury levels, chances are probably pretty high there, to relatively safe sprint car racing, and we both ended up in chairs, but we both kind of, I think, knew going in that that's a risk we take and we're willing to take, and unfortunately our number was drawn, and here we are.
Also similar to Brian, when you had your incident, a lot of people stepped up to help you, just like we're doing here today.
Absolutely, and that's what we're all here for. The cards and letters that people sent after my injury. Mine was a long time ago, 1988, when my accident happened, but and it was a different age. The internet and cell phones, things. It wasn't what it is today, but we still had a tremendous amount of help in my situation from all over the world, literally, and that's what we're here to help Brian this time, and try to raise some money for him and his family, and the Racers for Care organization in general, and we're all pulling together.